a skeleton of a giant reportedly found on Malaysian island. How tall does one have to be in order to be considered a giant and not just larger than usual? Would you consider 5 meters or 16.5 feet tall to be giant or larger than usual? We may soon find out after Malaysian media reports the finding of a large bones in a cave and extremely long graves outside the cave on Pulau Upe, the island of Malacca, in southern state in peninsular Malaysia. The graves and bones were reported to have been discovered by Moht Fuad Kusari M. Said, a historian for the Malacca state government who was looking for new historical sites to attract more tourists to the area. If he found a giant, this may make the site the Disney World of Southeast Asia in an area that's already known as a historical state. Moht Fuad claims he discovered the large skeleton remains, reportedly a skull and some bones, partially above the ground inside a cave. Based on either side, he estimates that they came from a man who stood anywhere from 3 to 5 meters tall, that's 10 feet to 16.5 feet tall, approximately 1.2 kilometers from the cave, that's about 3/4 of a mile from the cave. He found 2 long graves measuring 5 meters by half a meter, that's 1.6 feet wide. The graves were 15 meters apart, that's 50 feet apart, and Fuad gave no indication that the bones in the cave were from either of them. So you're probably asking, where are the photographs or videos, or at least some drawings? The only photograph that with the report was one of the Azman Wahab, Fuad's assistant, squatting at one of the graves, and the new videos by the reporter's site shows the same scene. Fuad says that he's a qualified historian with 10 years experience as an archaeologist and knows one thing for certain. He says, I have reported the findings to the authorities because we have no right to excavate the site without permission. That was confirmed by local Chief Minister Idris Haroon, who acknowledged that the bones might be from giants. We've commissioned the historian to provide facts about undiscovered historical sites, and research on the latest discovery of giant-sized remains is going on. News of the giants in Pulau Upe is not shocking to locals because tales of the existence of their bones have been told for years. Some of that comes from other giant-sized graves on the island, including the tomb of Sultan al-Arifin Ismail, a distant relative of the Prophet Muhammad from Baghdad, who brought Islam to the island in 1495. Al-Arif's grave is a popular tourist site, as are the similar giant tombs of allegedly giant religious leaders from other countries who joined Al-Arif in spreading Islam. And before you ask the question, here the answer is from Fouad. There was no excavation work at any of these grave sites, so the tales of giant settlers remains a myth, but the research on the latest find could prove or disprove claims that giant-sized men roamed Malacca a long time ago. The discoveries of the remains of giants, if it's true, of course, is a big deal to the Malaysian government. Amir Hamzah Aziz, the social service director of the right-wing Barisan National Party, the nation's largest political party, gives his word. He says, many claim to have sighted the remains there. If it's true, we must preserve it for the future generations. News of 16-foot giant travels fast. Better start digging, and this time send someone with a camera and the proper paperwork. This is by Paul Siebert, Mysterious Universe, Unbended Reality. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.